Hey, how's it going? This is Rob from Justin's Toys, and today I'm going to show you how to make the Puffy variation of the name bracelet. As you can see, it pops and it comes up a little bit. It's puffy and it's so much more obvious than the original name bracelet. And this was requested to me from Suzanne King from Rainbow Loom Murals and Pics Facebook page. So I played around with it. I think the method that I'm using right now is the most effective, but comment below if you think there's another way to do this better. You can go to justinstoys.com and download this template. Just go to the Rainbow Loom, then Design Template section, click on the actual template, and then scroll down and click the photo and you can get this template downloaded. It says $0.00. It's not for sale, it's for free. So just click the images and that's my gift to you. You could customize it however you want. You don't have to do this XOXO. Just download the blank template and then use the letters on the top as reference. There's also some other designs as well, so check it out. Alright, so without wasting your time any further, let's get started. Okay, so to set up your loom, you're going to need a large base, a small base, and 2 bar pins. If you already watched the name bracelet video, you don't have to watch it. You could just go to this time right here, and I'll show you how to do the puffy letter variation. But for all of you that haven't watched it, I'll show you from the beginning so this could be watched independently. I'm right-handed, so the first bar pin I'm grabbing, I'm gonna have the arrow pointing towards the right, and I'm gonna place it on the center of this large base as far to the left as possible. Then I'm gonna secure the other end with this small base as far to the right as possible in the center, just like that. Then I'm going to grab the other bar pin and face it in the opposite direction. So as you can see, the arrows are pointing towards the left, and I'm going to place it on top, just like that, perfectly aligned. And I'm going to push down, making sure that that is secure. Alright, and that's your complete setup. So, right now we're doing the first 7 rows of this XOXO bracelet, and we are grabbing a single black because that is the first color on this peg. We'll be using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of pegs. This set represents this whole entire line up top. This second set is representing this second row, third is third row, fourth is fourth, and so on. So you can customize this however you want, and you can do that by clicking right here. Alright, so starting with my first pixel, this top left, I am going to cap this. If you don't know how to cap, it's basically a double looped single band. And we're going to place it on this first set in a figure 8 position, just like that. Now, if you're having difficulty capping bands, an easier way to do it is to take one band, right, place it on this peg, turn it into a figure 8, right, and then use this corner of this peg to go inside that loop right there while it's twisted and push it over. And once that's there, you can use your hook to grab it and use the edge of this peg to catch it and rotate your hook and turn it into a figure 8. Only reason I recommend that is because after capping 50 bands, my fingers tend to turn raw, and I'll probably either take a break or I will resort to doing that method. Alright, so we are going to put figure 8s on all 5 sets. As you can see, there's 4, and this will be the last one. That's 5. And last, we are going to put a connector band on top. My connector bands are going to alternate between pink and gray, and the connector band goes across all 5 bottom pegs, just like that. All right, and push down slightly, and now we're ready to put on our next set of black bands, which is row number 2. And this time we're putting cap bands on, but we're putting them on regular, no 8. Over here, again, I'm going to do that other method, show you how it's done. There you go, cap band. Use your hook and bring it up. If that's easier, do it that way. Whatever floats your boat. Next, set number 3. Regularly on top. Set number 4, regular. And set number 5, regular. Right? Now we're ready to begin looping. Let me just move this out the way so you can see better. Alright, so the hardest one that we are going to do is definitely this peg right here, because you have this pink band in the way. You want to make sure you take your hook and you're getting inside this pink, grabbing those bottom 2 blacks, bringing it up and over to the center of this peg, just like that. And we're going to do that again on the second peg. Again, do not go from the outside over here. You want to go from the inside of this band. Grab those bottom 2, bring it up, bottom 2, bring it up, and over here. You might get caught over here, but just swing it around. Okay? Then you want to turn it around and do the same thing with these 5 pegs. These are a little easier because you don't have the connector band in your way. So 1, 2, make sure you're not grabbing more than 2, and the 2 that you're grabbing have to be the bottom. So make sure you make a habit of pushing down. Right? Now turn your loom around, push down all the way. Okay? Grab your next connector band, which is gray for me. Put it across those 5. Push down slightly. And again, we are putting single cap bands across each set. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Again, we have to make sure we are going inside all of these connector bands. These 2. Grab those bottom 2, bring it up and over. Next, bottom 2 up and over, up and over, up and over, and up and over. Turn the loom around, bring these 5 up and over. Okay, and now that I have 2 connector bands on this side, we can bring the bottom connector band, this pink one, up into the center, and now we can push down. Alright, make sure you push down all the way, that way you don't confuse the bands. And now, since I brought the pink up, I'm going to use another pink connector band right here. Alright, and again, we're going to put 5 capped bands on all sets of pegs. 1. I try to put this as close to the top as possible. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So just like before, we're going inside these connector bands, grabbing the bottom 2, up and over, and repeat. Turn it around. 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring this connector band up and push down. Grab another gray, put it across those 5, push down slightly, and repeat. So I'm just gonna do that another, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's 5. Another 2 times. If you don't want to watch it, you could just go to this time right here to see the Puffy letter variation. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Again, bring up the bottom 2. Make sure you're inside these connector bands. 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn it around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring up that pink. Push down. Now take the pink connector, place it on all 5, and then cat bands all across. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? So inside the connectors, grab those bottom 2, bring it up and over, up and over, up and over, up and over, and up and over. Turn the loom around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring up this gray to the center and push down. So this is going to be the last one before I do the Puffy letters. So gray, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Last one. Inside the connectors. Bring those 2 up and over. 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn it around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then bring up the pink connector, then push down all the way. Okay, so first things first, grab a pink connector band, place it on top, these 5 pegs right here, and then I'm going to bring my template in, and this is where we're going to start the puffy letter variation. So right here, we're going to have a pink pixel, then a black pixel, and black, and black, and right here we're going to do pink. And each one of these pixels that represent the puffy parts, or the pinks, is going to require 2 bands. We'll start off with this pixel right here, this X. We're going to start off with a capped band right here on this peg, and we're going to twist it into an 8, just like the first bands that we placed on this bracelet. Alright? And then you're going to push down, and then you're going to take another band and place it on top, capped, but this time it's going to be regular, so no 8. The other 3 in the center was just regular black, so we'll just put normal blacks on top on all 3 of these. 1, 2, and 3. And this last one is also a puffy, so push down, just put a cap band right here, twist it into an 8, and then also put another regular cap band on top, normally. Okay? Now this is where the looping changes a little bit, because the first thing you want to do is go to the puffy pixel sets, which is over here and over here, and you want to bring up only the bottom 2 on this side. So you can see this is the 8. The side that's on the right over here is the 2 that you're bringing up. Okay, just like that, so it's slid over towards this peg, and we're gonna leave it there. The other 2 ends of the 8 are still there, and again on this side you have to identify the 2 parts of the 8 on this right peg. So we're gonna bring that up just like that. Right, now we want to go back to this first peg, go in and grab the bottom 2 blacks from inside these connector bands, as you can see. But the trick is you want to take this black band right here, bring it up and over, but you want to bring it over this cap band right here. Okay? Just like that. So as you can see, the black is further to the right than this capped little knot looking thing right here. And then once you do that, now you want to bring up the bottom 2 pinks that are the other end of the 8 up into the center. So as you can see, that quadruple looped band is going to be right there. Then next, this black, you're just bringing up the bottom 2 up normally, bring up the bottom 2 on this one up normally, bring up the bottom 2 on this one up normally. Over here, we're going to grab the bottom 2 blacks again, bring it up and over this peg. But once you bring it over, you're bringing it further than this capped band right here. So as you can see, the black's on the right. Now you can bring up the 2 pinks afterwards. So there you go, you have that capped or quadruple cap band right there on the outside of this black. Right? Now you want to turn your loom around and bring up the bottom bands on all 5 pegs. So these 2 blacks, bring it up, 2 blacks, 2 blacks, 2 blacks, and 2 blacks. Okay? Now turn your loom around, and again, just like before, bring up the connector band to the center, then push down as much as possible, because now we need more space for that capped 8. Okay? And we are on the next line, which is going to be puffy pink, black, puffy pink. Right? So, connector band first, push down slightly, cap band, turn it into an 8, push down, cap band, turn it into an 8, push down, black in the center but regular, straight, cap band, turned it into an 8, push down, capped band, and then turn it into an 8. Alright, so on all the 8s, we want to put 1 band on top. So there was 1, cap band, just regular, cap band, just regular, cap band, regular, and cap band. Push down slightly, make some space, and regular. Alright, so just like before, again, starting from this side, we are grabbing both ends of that 8. So it's very important that you push down after you put the 8 on, or else you're gonna have trouble trying to figure out which bands to bring up. But over here I could see these are parts of the 8, so I'm bringing this up and slide it right next to this peg. Over here, these are the 2 right ends of that 8. Bring it up. I'm gonna skip the center because the center is regular. Over here, 2 ends of that 8 on the right, bring it up, and over here, 2 ends of that 8, and bring it up. Okay, now we're going back to the beginning, and we're gonna bring up the bottom 2, make sure you're inside these connector bands. Bring up that bottom 2 bands up and over, but remember, when you bring this up and over, you're kind of wiggling it on top of this cap band right there. Very important that you understand that. Alright, and bring up the bottom 2 again. So those bottom 2 are part of that 8 rubber band. For here, bring up the 2 blacks. Wiggle it until it's on top or further than this cap part, then let it go. Then bring up the bottom 2 that are on the other end of that 8. There you go. This black band is just normal. Bring up the bottom 2. And over here, we're bringing up the black, but again, we're gonna wiggle it over that cap band and then let it go. And bring up the bottom 2. Over here, the bottom 2 pinks, bring it up and wiggle it over this cap band, and also bring these 2 up and just let it go. Alright, now turn it around and bring up the bottom bands on all 5 pegs. Much easier on this side. Alright, now turn the loom around, push down as far as possible. Well, let's bring this pink connector band up first, and then push down as much as possible. Okay, now put a pink connector band, and we are in the third line of that X, so it's black, puffy pink, puffy pink, puffy pink, and black. So push down, cap of black, put it on here, puffy pink, so we're gonna do a capped 8, and then push down, puffy pink, so capped 8, push down, cap band, so puffy pink, so capped 8, push down, and then black is regular on the rightmost set. Then we're gonna put capped pinks on top of all the capped 8s. Alright, so again, inside this first peg, you gotta bring up that 8 on the right. Bring up the 8 on the right. Make sure it's only parts of the 8, and you can kind of peek in there and tell. So as you can see, this crosses. Now bring it up over here. The 8, bring it up. Now back to that first peg. Again, inside these connector bands, grab those two bottom, bring it up. Over here you can see there's a cap in the center, so you have to grab those bottom two, bring it all the way up, but wiggle it over that cap band. Once you do that, bring up the bottom two remaining bands and leave it there. Next set, we're bringing up this black with these two blacks and then wiggling it over that cap band and letting it go. Now bring up the bottom two. Okay. Next set, bring up the bottom two pink. Again, wiggle it over that cap band. Let it go. And then bring up the bottom two. And then last peg, just bring up the bottom two. And then turn the loom around and bring up the bottom bands on all 5 pegs. Alright. Bring up this connector band. Push down as much as you can. And we're going to put another gray on top. And this sequence is just like before, black, pink, 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 black. So just like we just did, we're gonna do the same thing. Black regular on the 2 left pegs, 8s next, push down, 8s next, push down, 8s next, push down, and regular on the right. Now we're gonna put cap bands on top of all the 8s, regular, cap band over the 8, and then cap band over this 8. Okay. Again, we're bringing up the right side of the 8s on all the pink sets. So right here, we're grabbing the 2 right ends of the 8, bringing it up. Here, make sure you're grabbing only the 8s, 2 right ends of the 8s, and bring it up. And right here, 2 right ends of the 8s, and bringing it up. Right, now we can go to that first peg. Again, get inside the connector bands, grab those bottom two, bring it up and over. Over here, grab these two bands, bottom pinks, but remember there's a cap band in the center, so we're wiggling it over and to the right of this cap. Then we're bringing the other bottom two up, right? This set right here, same exact thing. Grab the bottom two, wiggle it over the cap band, then bring up the remaining bottom two and just let it go. Same thing with this set. Bottom two, wiggle over, bottom two up, two blacks on the bottom, up and over. Turn the loom around, bring up the bottoms on all five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's pretty much the sequence. I'm going to continue to the end of the X, and hopefully you get it, because once I'm done with the X, I'm just gonna skip to the end all the way down here to show how to clip. Alright, so next line is going to be pink, pink, black, pink, pink. So first, pink connector band, push down, and then the first 8, pink, push down a little bit. Next is also pink, so another 8, push down. Black is regular, so cap it and put it on straight. Next is a pink, turn it into an 8, push down. Next is pink, push down, and then we're gonna put a pink band on top of all of these 8s. So cap band, pink over here, cap band, oh, not lost its cap, pink, cap band, pink over here, and cap band, pink over here. Alright, so again, we're bringing up the right sides of the 8s. So right here there's an 8, bring it up and over. Next right here, bring it up and over. This is a black, so that's fine. Right here, pink, bring it up and over. Right here, bring it up and over. Now we're gonna go to this bottom left peg, get inside these connectors, bring this black up, but you wanna wiggle it over that capped, let it go. Over here, these bottom 2, up and over. Over here, bottom 2, wiggle it over that cap, let it go, and bring up the remaining bottom 2. Right here is just regular because it's black. Over here, bring up the bottom 2, wiggle it over, let it go, and bring up these 2, let it go. Same with this black, bring it up and wiggle it over, let it go, then these 2, up and over. Then turn the loom around, and then bring up the bottom on all 5. 4, 5. Okay. Bring up the gray, push down, okay. Now put a gray connector, just like that. And this is the last part of the X. So pink, black, 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 pink. Push down on this connector a little bit. So pink is gonna be an 8. Black is regular. Black. Next is black, which is regular. Black. Next is black and regular. And last is pink. Okay, so an 8. Push down slightly and put regular capped pinks on top of those 8s. 1, 2. Again, turn your loom and bring up the right side of those 8s. So there's 1. And over here, you have another 8. Bring up the right side to the center. Now back to that first peg. Get inside those connector bands. Bring up those bottom 2. Okay, bring it up and over, wiggle it over. Okay, next grab the bottom 2 or the other end of those 8s, bring it up and over. Over here is just regular because it's black on top. Here it's regular, here it's regular. And over here, bring up those bottom 2, but wiggle it over that capped. Let it go, and bring this up. Remaining 2. Turn it around, and bring up the bottom bands on all 5 pegs. Okay, so that is the finished X. Next, we're just gonna bring up this pink, put another pink connector on top, and this one is gonna be straight black, as you can see. So just like we did in the beginning, just black band, put it on top, 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 and black band. All right, so I'm just gonna fade towards the end. I hope within this whole entire letter you understood the Puffy letter concept. And if you didn't, just go back and follow exactly how I did it. I'm just gonna fade towards the end right now, and I will show you how to clip it. Okay, so here I am towards the end, and I am doing my final 5. So I'm gonna push down after I looped everything up, and this time I don't have to put a connector band in the center. I'm just leaving it like so, and again, cap band on all 5 sets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're just gonna bring up the bottom bands on all 10 pegs. Again, make sure you're going inside this connector band. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Flip it around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then bring up that connector band to the center. And since this is the last one, what I want to do is transfer all the bands on the top pegs to the bottom pegs. And we're going to do that very carefully. I'm going inside here with my hook facing down. I'm going to pull this off, and then I'm going to use the corner of this peg to bring this back up and over. Just like that. Do the same thing over here. Hook is facing down. Bring this off. Use the edge of this peg. Make sure you're rotating your hook in a way that's not gonna slip off. Bring it up and over and push down. Here, the hook's facing down. Pull this off and then use the edge of the peg. Push down, and then right here. Hook's facing down, pull it off. Use the edge of the peg. Bring it down, push down. And the last one, hook's facing down, pull it off. Use the edge of the peg and put it on. Alright, so now we get to clip all of these ends. Starting from this one, I'm just gonna have my C-clip with the hole on the bottom, put it about halfway in and just push down. Okay? Make sure it grabs all 4 ends, because if you don't get all 4 ends, then it's gonna fall apart. So right here, same thing, halfway in and push down. As you can see, I have all the bands, so we are good. This one, we have all the bands as well. So that is 2 down, 3 to go. Again, there's a third one over here. Halfway in, push down. And the last one. Halfway in and push down. Right? So now that we have all 5 ends clipped, we'll just rotate this so that we can pull it off with one end of the C-clip. Alright, so right here, as you can see, I have all 4 ends. Pull this off, and you could let it go gently. Over here, you see you have all 4 ends. Pull it off, let it go gently. Pull this off, let it go gently. Pull this off, let it go gently. And last but not least, this last one. You have all 4 ends and pull it off. Now we can pull it through, and this is the moment of truth. So, as you're making it, it doesn't look that great, but when you're done and you stretch it out, that's when it just becomes so obvious. You know, sometimes you see the original name bracelet and it doesn't have that appeal that pops as much as this Puffy variation. So as you see, there's gaps. If you just pull on it a little and kind of like tug on it in different directions, eventually those gaps thin out And you can also take your hook and go into these bands over here and kind of tug on it a little, just to get rid of that congestion in there. But eventually, if you wear this enough times, it will naturally want to thin out. But that is the completed Puffy variation, XOXO bracelet. And to end it, you want to grab all these ends right here and clip it onto these 5C clips. This is Rob from Justin's Toys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Puffy variation of the XOXO. And happy looming! Aside from that.